"I can't let this happen," whispered Hiccup. "I can't let this happen." But what could he do? His hands were bound with rope. The castle was falling down. The dragons were killing the humans all around. What could he do? "Toothless!" shouted Hiccup into the uncaring air. "Toothless! Please come here! I need you! Toothless!" Toothless was closer than Hiccup realised. The red rage had entirely overtaken him, like a powerful drug takes hold of a feeble mind. The ancient primeval anger of the wild world took him over so crazily that he lost his sight in the dizzying force of it, and it numbed the sensible parts of his brain. What was it about Hiccup's voice that cut through the fog of fury and made Toothless turn and stare, his mouth full of smoking shoe leather? The mist of the red rage that had descended on the little dragon lifted as if by magic. Toothless turned. He dropped the shoe. He flew to where Hiccup was standing, bound with ropes. "Toothless!" exclaimed Hiccup. "Quick, bite my ropes and find the Windwalker." "Do this, do that," grumbled the little dragon. "Toothless, not your servant." But he bit through the ropes with one quick snap of his sharp little jaws, and he flew to find the Windwalker with none of his usual laziness. The Windwalker was flying around in confused circles some distance away, searching for Hiccup. The red rage had not taken him over, but it had thoroughly disorientated him, interrupting his radar, and what with that, and the smoke, and dodging the arrows and spears, he was looping the loop and bumping into other dragons and accidentally chasing his own tail. "Hiccup needs us," squeaked Toothless, forgetting to be cool, and the Windwalker followed the little dragon, weaving expertly through the aerial battlefield, and crash-landed beside Hiccup in an untidy scramble. Hiccup leapt onto the Windwalker's back in the nick of time, for a tongue twister was lunging his way, and the Windwalker climbed up into the air. The extraordinary, crazy rock formations in the gorge of the Thunderbolt of Thor turned it into a gigantic slalom course. 1 second's lack of concentration and they would crash straight into a pillar of stone and knock themselves out of this world and into the next. On top of this, the gorge itself was shaped, as its name suggests, like a lightning bolt, and the cliffs twisted and turned around corners in a wildly contorted fashion. Whoa! This needed advanced flying skills of the most extreme kind, super extreme advanced in fact. And if Gobber could have seen Hiccup picking his way through that gorge like threading a needle at supersonic speed, he would have been a very proud 6.5-foot lunatic. Very proud indeed. "Toothless feels sick, slow down!" The little dragon popped his head out of Hiccup's shirt, screamed at the sight of an upcoming wall of stone that Hiccup steered the Windwalker wildly away from right at the last minute, and dived down the shirt beside the Wodensfang again, putting his wings over his eyes for good measure. OK, they weren't going to be able to outrun the pursuing dragons this way, so he'd have to go up instead. Up, Windwalker, up. The boy and the dragon shot up out of the gorge like a firework, the swarm of dragons even closer now. Hiccup urged the Windwalker higher and higher. If we get high enough, a lot of them won't be able to follow, thought Hiccup. You see, Hiccup's short life spent studying dragons meant that he knew so much about them. Most dragons much prefer operating in what they call shallow air. The air close to the land, just out of reach of the treetops, is their environment and their playground. Very few dragons are deep air dragons. They don't like the higher air above the clouds with its sudden winds and lighter atmosphere. They don't like that at all. "Toothless's ears are popping," wailed Toothless's muffled voice from deep in Hiccup's shirt, "and he's squashed." "Higher, Windwalker, higher," Hiccup whispered to the Windwalker. He couldn't really breathe now. He tried not to think about what might happen if he passed out, because he wasn't tied on. Just a little higher. The Windwalker's wings swam ever upwards, up, up, up. Hiccup's ears were popping too, but as he looked down, the dragons following them were fading in their pursuit. The Windwalker's wings were taking them further than they could follow. The beautiful black dragon sailed on and on through the clouds, higher and higher, further and further. The air was cold now. They were so high, leaving all of Hiccup's problems behind. Hiccup was extremely tired. He laid his face down on the Windwalker's back, and he slept.